Hello everybody, this is Juan-Pablo Gomez here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I am making this video as a way to show everyone how to value a piece of property using the historical transactions of nearby properties. So let's find a property that we could do this analysis on so I could show you kind of a real world example and actually using the websites and methods that I use to get a really good guesstimate on the value of the property, whether that's you looking to buy, you looking to sell, or just for curiosity's sake. Let's begin. Okay, so that's what I'm going to go over in this video. I'm just going to go ahead and select this one. So Realtors, this is live on Realtors.com. I like Realtors.com because it lets me put in parameters and I'm used to the website. So I'm going to click on this one, a 4.2, very typical house here. Let's go more into this house. Let's click the listing. They're asking $400,000 and it's a 4.2. It's 1,300 square feet and it was built in 1972. So those are the things I look at. I could also look at the price per square foot, $303, which looks honestly extremely high, but markets have changed and that's kind of been the norm, more of the norm in this area, unfortunately. Okay, so 4.2, how do we know if this is a good deal? How do we know if they're asking way too much money? That's what I'm gonna go over. Let's get more familiar with the property that we're analyzing. So we can see kind of the front picture here, the picture of the backyard, which includes a really nice screen enclosure and a pool, which is not cheap to build at all. And then we go into the inside. The inside, what this picture will tell me is that carpet's really old and nasty. The house is not perfect. They haven't repainted the walls before selling it. Kind of, you can see some unpainted sections there. The kitchen has laminate countertops. Looks like some decent cabinetry, but that countertop definitely could use a little facelift. Wallpaper here, kind of that floral print that was more trendy back in the 70s when this was built. Wood paneling, kind of for an accent wall, but you kind of still see that carpet that has seen better days, to be honest. This is one of the bedrooms. This is one of the bathrooms. You see not updated at all to kind of today's standards. But all that is kind of finishes that can easily be changed. But that all costs money, obviously. So that's why we're doing this analysis. Something that's nice and modern will go for a lot more than something that needs some work done. That's not immediately livable because it needs some modernization. I don't know. If it were me, I would not want to live in a house with carpet that has probably been there since the 70s. You can see a picture of the shed. You can see a picture of the backyard. And we can see a picture of the AC unit. So that definitely has some age to it. Been cooking the sun for a while. Showing you the inside unit, the water heater, and what else? The pool. Okay. So now we've got kind of familiar with the house. The first thing I do is take the address. So here's the address. I just need the house number and the street that it's on because I already know the county that this is located. Here in Orlando, we are in Orange County. So this is the first website I'll introduce to you, and it is the Orange County Property Appraiser website. So not everyone that's watching this video is going to be in Orange County, but I can assure you if you type in the county that you're in and then Property Appraiser after that, you'll get to a location that kind of looks like this. Just look around and look for where you can search and kind of insert that address. And it'll give you lots of really valuable information for what we are interested in. Okay, So you can see there, I typed it in and kind of a drop down showed, giving me that it's an address they have in the system. So once we get to this page, it's going to show us the address that we typed in, the owners, the area and the location, stuff that we know with the address already. But here it's going to show us the value of the house with the taxes. So you could get a good estimate of what the taxes are going to be if you do get this house. This is a very useful tab that I always look at because it is going to show you the property features. So this right here is all very useful information, what I generally look for in this tab. So the year it was built, 1972, beds is 4, baths is 2, and it's only a single story. Gross area is 1750 square feet. So that is everything basically under the roof of the house. So why is that different from the living area? Well, no one really lives in the garage, unless maybe the dog, but it is not a conditioned space, so it is not classified as a living area. So that's the difference there. You could kind of get a good estimate of the size of a garage, for example, but then there's also kind of patios that are under roof. But we're more interested in this living area. That's the actual square footage of where people are going to be living. Exterior walls shows us what the structural walls are made out of. Here it says aluminum/vinyl siding. Now that doesn't directly tell me what the walls are made out of, but I have some experience in construction and know that typically aluminum and vinyl siding is installed in wooden framed houses. So that tells us that it's a wood framed house. Interior walls here in Florida, 99% of everything is drywall, especially residential. So that just confirms that it's a drywall house. Okay, that's pretty much what I look for here. This also tells you stuff that they've built like in addition to the house. So things like the shed that we saw was built in 2002. That's when they took out the permit for that. The screening and enclosure was built in 1982. The pool was built in 1997. And FPL, I quite haven't understood what that is, but that was done in 1988. So you get all that information. Here in this other tab is sales. On the sales page, we will find kind of the sales history. So we could see here, this is not really that typical, but in 1972, it was bought for $27,900. And it's never changed hands since then. So this person bought it when it was built for $28,000. Must be nice with nowadays prices, right? So we need to do a little bit more searching to see if the $400,000 that they're asking for is reasonable or not. So how do we do that? One way that I found that is useful, especially on this Orange County website, is I click on this map. So it's going to open this page up, another tab. Now I've learned that this does not open up on, just me doing the same thing, making sure it was going to work. That page does not open up on Chrome. So you can see it doesn't populate. So I open up Microsoft Edge and it does work on Edge. Okay. So maybe if you're a Chrome user like me, maybe try another browser and see if it populates correctly. Okay, so here we have all of the plots, all kind of those little lots where the houses are built. You can go here and change the view and kind of actually see like the real life of how it looks and all the little houses. Okay, but I like this base map because it's not so cluttered. Okay, so here we go to sales. So sales is a very useful tool because you could select the year of the sale. So 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020. So the previous 5 years, it looks like. I'm available to kind of look for the purchase history. So I like the previous 2 typically, but since it's the beginning of 2025, I'll also include 2024 in there. And I'm going to click search. So all these little houses, you can kind of see green, a little greenhouse that was sold in 2024. A little yellow house means it was sold in 2023. And a blue house was sold in 2022. So kind of disregard these that you see that are for $100, because that's usually a quick claim deed. That's basically people like transferring titles within each other and not really selling it on the market. So those are those low values that you see kind of for $100. So kind of disregard those. Those don't really give us a good comparable for the house that's for sale. So the house for sale right now is the baby blue kind of outlined one. So we kind of look for similar houses in the vicinity. So the good thing here is that we have a lot of houses that we could look at. Let me not zoom out too far. Look at all the sale history. Even in the same road itself, we have lots of options that we could look at. So let's begin. I'm going to start with this 279 here. So I can just go ahead and click that lot. Give it a second. If it's going to play nice with me. Maybe not. Let me go ahead and refresh. I know sometimes it gets stuck there. So let me go ahead and open this back up. Search. All right. There we go. So now it's purple, the one that you have highlighted. So this will come up and it'll show you the address of that property. Why is that important? Because I want to know more about that property. Because we know it did sell for $379 in 2024. Okay, so I've already kind of done some of the legwork here about that. So 5364 I found on realtor.com, the old listing, so we could see and confirm that this is the house and it was sold in 2024 for $379. What can we learn about this? So it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,554 square feet. It was built in 1972. And the price per square foot is a lot less than that $300 that we saw for the one that's for sale right now. Okay, let's, like the previous one, get acquainted with the house. So, okay, single car garage, kind of that brick cladding. This one has nice wood floors, something that the house for $400,000 does not. We don't really care about the furniture. Kind of look past that. I just really care about the floors and kind of the paint, the ceiling, the fixtures, stuff that's going to stay there once I buy it. Okay. It's a pretty nice looking house. The cabinets are kind of that laminate type. Same thing with the countertop. So it's not stone at all. It does have a newish range. Who knows how many years it's actually on it. But that looks like it's updated. Okay. Getting familiar with the house. See, there's carpeted areas, but that carpet does not look nearly as disgusting as the other one. Okay. And we also see that wood paneling that we saw on the original listing for that $400,000 house. Looks like we have a barn door in the bedroom. So that definitely wasn't a 70s addition. Here's one of the bathrooms. And you could definitely tell that they put some money into the shower specifically. I wouldn't really say this vanity or the lights or anything like that, given it's still that laminate. Okay, interesting carpet in this room. Kind of reminds me of that 70s one that we saw here. Kind of that, I don't know, what would you call that, like cobblestone texture to it. Okay, this looks like they're showing us the other bathroom. At least part of it, the vanity. And then the backyard. So that backyard is not nearly as impressive as this one. where we have a pool and a big screen enclosure. Okay, so you kind of write these things down to keep yourself organized of what has what. But now we know for 3-2, so one less bedroom than this one. Same bathrooms, a little bigger actually in terms of square footage, about 200 square feet bigger. And also a one-car garage. So that sold for $379 in 2024. Okay. Now you could also do this, copy this, and put it into the property appraiser. Of course you can. You'll find the same information. I'm just going to show that you can. And you should, honestly, because of this information. Realtors is not really going to tell you. Let me see, does it? The exterior wall. Let's see. The exterior wall and interior wall. What it's made out of? Maybe. Oh, there it is. Construction material block, vinyl siding. Oh, so they're claiming it's block. Interesting. Okay. So that's definitely something I'd bring up to the realtor. Which one it actually is. Okay. But now we kind of catalog that, make your notes of what this property had. We also have this one that I looked at. So for $460. So this one's 7255 Gaslow Avenue. So go ahead and copy that. And then if you were doing this on your own time, I'm not going to do everything in the sake of saving time for everyone. I found the old realtor's post, and we know it's the same one, 460 in 2024. It was built in 1971. And here it's a 1,410 square feet for $326 dollars a square foot. So that's definitely higher than the one that we're looking at right now. It does have another bed. Now let's get familiar with the house. Okay, no garage. You can see here they actually put some money into updating it. So we have, looks like wooden floors here. New kind of door handles. Definitely not from the 70s. Much better kitchen. So we see that kitchen, stainless steel appliances with an island. And we see much more modern shake kind of cabinets with the bedroom. Bed looks kind of weird. It looks like it's like levitating over the frame. Wow, what a shower. So we see a shower here that definitely looks like they put a good amount of money into. You got stone countertops. I think also the kitchen had stone countertops. I didn't mention that. So a lot more modernized. We even have a vanity light that has a light to it. Okay. Another bathroom, which is kind of strange because the listing did say it only had one bathroom. So we see another bathroom. Another bedroom, and a third bathroom. So you can't always take what the listing has for fact, because sometimes things like this does happen. And we can see that there's a little pool here with the shed in the back. Okay, so it's actually a 5.3. That went for $460, if I'm not mistaken. So a 5.3 that went for $460. Right now we have this one that is a 4.2 that they're asking for $400. So, okay. I mean, I could see, honestly, whoever bought that for $460, I don't know what they were looking at. But it does give us a good comparable and honestly some validity to them asking $400,000, given this one was a 5.3 on the same road. That sold for $460,000. Okay, whether it's justified that this one sold for $400,000 or the other one sold for $460,000, that's kind of where your judgment goes into place. This one hasn't been updated at all, so obviously in my mind it should be worth less. Not worthless, but worth less. Just because that work hasn't been done, and people want more modern houses, especially when they were built in the 70s. Okay, another house that I've looked at previously that I'm going to bring up right now is this one. Okay, and that one is this one. So sold for $379,000 in 2023. And price per square foot is $356, so much higher than the one that we're looking at right now. That's for $300,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, and it just has barely more than 1,000 square feet. Let's get familiar with the house. We have a 1-car garage. It's giving us an aerial view. Nice screened-in porch in the back. Nice yard with lots of mature trees and grass and a shed in the back. Oh, wow. Look at this screen porch. It has a hot tub. Oh, my girlfriend would love this house. Just for this reason alone. She loves screen-in porches and hot tubs. So that's that'll increase the value in her eyes a lot. Looks like more modern glass sliders, so kind of first impressions, someone put some money into this to make it look nicer. And looking on the inside, someone's definitely been here to modernize the house. These are definitely IKEA cabinets, given kind of the hardware and the shine of it. I don't know who would paint their walls orange. But enough roasting this house. We kind of want to know why someone paid the amount that they did. Obviously, it's more modern than the one that's going for $400,000. Let's continue. That's the living room. Much nicer flooring. They definitely put some money into it. This is the bedrooms. Nice sized bedrooms. That we're looking at here. This is the bathroom. Might be the half bath, given how narrow that entrance looks. Yeah, there's your bathroom. That's your vanity and your toilet. And it has going to be the other bedroom, or the other bathroom, I mean. Yeah, this is the other bathroom. So just typical shower pan, white tiles. Honestly, nothing fancy. Pedestal sink, which I don't really like. I don't know many people who like pedestal sinks because you can't really store things on the countertop. But they probably did that for size reasons. And that's the house. So let's remind ourselves what it went for. $379,000 in 2023. It's a 1.5. That is a house that's 1,066 square feet. Okay? So someone did pay that in 2023. So
think about
all the kind of characteristics of these properties and what people have paid for them in the past. You can kind of see that maybe $400,000 is just about right. Maybe they're asking a little bit more than they should, because this one definitely was modernized. The one that we just looked at, this 460 was definitely modernized. Bigger house though, or well, more rooms. This was the 5.3, and this one, which was the 5364. Let's see, 5364. Remind me what this one was again. Okay, nicer floors. They didn't really update the kitchen except for that oven and cooktop combo. Much better carpet. They did modernize that one bathroom. Doesn't have the pool and the patio like this one does. So, would you pay $400,000 for this? Now that we know that information, well, now you have more education to actually make that decision, and that's why I wanted to make this video. So you could be a more of an educated buyer / seller and kind of understand what goes into comparing these properties to one another. And also kind of showing off the tools that you can kind of use for your resources, especially these property appraiser websites that the county sets up. Very, 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 very useful. So look up your county, look up property appraiser, and look for something that can let you search an address, and you'll find similar information to this. That's kind of a good summary of what I went over. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day. This has been Juan-Pablo Gomez. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this, where I share kind of things that I've learned along the way of investing in real estate. Thank you.